Dan.
Hi, Stephanie. How are you today?
Doing well, thank you.
Good, good. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. All right. So we just went through it. Go ahead and give me what city and state are you calling in from?
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania,
Wonderful. And what year, what class of do you have on your hand?
2025
Class of
and
2025.
2028. You got two.
Got it. Very good. All right. We love early planners. So go ahead and give me a few colleges you'd like to consider.
Okay, so for 2025, her interest is in biomedical engineering.
Mhm.
So she's got Georgia Tech. Well, she originally had Johns Hopkins and MIT on her list, and we have nixed those. So,
Yeah.
she has Georgia Tech, Rensselaer Polytech, Worcester Polytech, Drexel, and Rose-Hulman. Oh, you only have four. Worcester is Massachusetts,
Worcester. Got it.
but maybe we should put Drexel as the last one.
Okay. Nope.
It's Worcester Polytech, yeah.
And Drexel
It's Pennsylvania.
in your neck of the woods there. Perfect. Okay, so we won't consider student income or anything because it's really early. Parents and household.
Two.
All right, and age of oldest parent.
At the time that she's going to college,
I'm sorry, age of even now is fine.
54.
Thank you. All right. The reason that matters is because parents have a sliding scale of asset allowances depending on your age. So the closer you are to 65, the more generous that asset allowance is. All right, and then you're in Pennsylvania, correct? Yeah, Philadelphia. All right, and total number of household?
4.
Thank you. And you'll have one in college, so we'll consider that one at a time. All right, go and give me a ballpark figure on adjusted gross income for 2021, since the most recent year.
Yeah, so when you say adjusted, is that without like your withholding for IRAs and stuff like that?
Great question. So the FAFSAs are going to add that right back in. So you'll, so if you have a business, adjusted gross can vary widely from your wages.
I'm just looking at W-2s because that's all we have for W-2s.
Yep, and just give me the total.
Do you want that from the first box of the W-2 or do you want it from box number 3?
Wages, salaries, tips, that box.
That one. Okay. So that one plus.
And you can round to the nearest 10,000 or 5,000 is fine.
290.
290. All right, we're just going to give it all to one parent. Keep it simple. And about line 20. Oh, are you looking at a text? No, you're not. You wouldn't have filed yet. Maybe. But I'm going to guess you're somewhere in the 48, maybe 54,000 range of taxes. Sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay. And if you had to fill out the FAFSA today, what would you report in your average cash checking balance?
15.
All right. Any 529 plans?
Minimal, like 10.
All right. And then investment accounts?
No, it's all in IRAs.
Got it.
You don't want IRAs, right?
Correct. I do not.
Okay.
And go ahead and give me the, okay, since you're considering some CSS profile schools, ballpark on home equity, primary residence.
Equity is about 200. Well, sorry, no. Equity would be like 250.
Great. And we're good. But we have enough to move forward here. All right. So as it stands, your EFC at FAFSA only colleges is roughly 74,000. So
yeah,
essentially, yep, you're in a non-need bucket. So your best opportunities are going to come from merit aid researching, private aid. So hitting up the Googles and finding all those scholarships that are student specific. You can start as early as 8th grade. and really start racking up some of those dollars. And number three, some strategic aid. So it sounds like you've got a head start on the process. And so you, mom and or dad, need to become resident expert. And hopefully I've given you a handful of tools that will help you in your journey, and there's more to come. So, but here we go. Let's take a look.
One of the questions that we had was that dad has a mandatory retirement from a federal government job in law enforcement.
Okay.
Exactly the year before she starts college.
That's great. So that means his income is not going to be, so you'll be in an appealable circumstance. So your 290 will probably get, apples to apples, cut in half, essentially, maybe. So your income is going to, in that year, you have an appealable circumstance. So let's do an after circumstance real quick. If we just cut that in half.
That doesn't mean he's necessarily going to stop working.
Sure. Well, okay. So if he does, and he starts taking retirement income, that retirement income does not count. But I'm just going to queue up this before and after scenario for you, so you have it to reference. Maybe your equity might go up a little bit by that point. And there is a right and wrong way to report your equity. So maybe, I'm not going to ask for your address or anything, but you might want to do this on your own. So there is a federal housing index calculator put out by the Federal Housing Authority, Federal Housing Finance Agency, sorry. So like if I did my home here in California, right now, Redfin and Trulia and Zillow tell me that I can retire, right? But this tool will give me a more sober outlook on the value. So I purchased in 2014, second quarter. I want to value it for now, or at least the most recent. And I bought it for 520,000. So my current value is 966,000, which is about 300,000 less than what Zillow tells me my home is worth. So I can take that net saving, right, the difference, and then use that figure for my equity, because this is a government site reference going into a government form. They absolutely cannot argue against it. All right. So maybe there is a 10% reduction that you can actually add here. That's for everybody. You're welcome. All right.
You had an unpublished purchase price of your home back in 2003 because you bought it from family.
Oh, I mean, that's fine. Oh, great question. So, yeah, that's good. You have even more to work with, because you can use the index to your favor. Because it was unpublished, you can use your assessor's amount. So you can use the difference between your assessor amount and the projected market value, which you can reduce the market value by 20% and then find the difference of your assessor value. It's great. You're in a great spot. So you probably even cut this even further, assuming you don't take out a HELOC or cash out refinance between now and that point. But look what happens to your EFC. Okay, cutting a third. So let's take a look at before. Georgia Tech was going to be 195. Rensselaer was going to be 275. Worcester was going to be 265. Drexel was going to be 260. But now they're going to be 156, 185, 185, 240. So you save on average $20,000. And you save 40,000 at Georgia Tech. Here's my recommendation, Stephanie. You need better colleges. Well, yeah, you need more generous colleges. So Drexel is pretty merit aid generous. You'll definitely get some money from there. But the rest, Rensselaer, I know, is not too generous. Georgia Tech, I know, is not generous when it comes to merit aid. Worcester, I don't have much experience with Worcester. You could pull it up and find that pretty easily in that Road to College tool. Again, I love it.
He's not really married to any of these. I had actually heard that Rensselaer and Worcester were better for merit aid, but
It's probable, but you just have to look at what they've done in the last 3 years, not the last 30 years, because
Yeah,
COVID
gotcha.
changed everything.
Yeah, okay.
So there you go. If I were to give you a bucket full of low-hanging fruit, Stephanie, I'd say, hey, maybe do consider retirement or temporary retirement if it's allowed. You know, some public servant sectors might allow a type of furlough. If not, you know, then you're dealing with but the difference is not so much that it can make the decision for you, right? So you saw that as far as need-based aid goes, it only moved the needle about 20,000 in the best case scenario over 4 years. So maybe retiring for this sake is not the right move.
Yeah, we were actually thinking about sending them over to University of Pennsylvania, get a job there. They have a great tuition program for students.
Yeah, it'll be easier to get your husband in there than it will your child, though. So
yes. Oh, yeah, but they actually pay half of Penn tuition to any school for a child of an employee.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Well, Dad, I think you have your marching orders. So
He has to be there for 3 years, though.
got it.
Might be better for college for number 2 coming through.
Very good. Yeah, great planning. Good. So it sounds like you're crossing some of your T's ahead of time. Fantastic. We'd love to hear that. Well, we are running up against the clock here. Stephanie, thanks so much for your input and your candor. I'm gonna save this and send it off to you so you have it to reference.